the more of these hard, uncomfortable things you do, the easier it is to do hard and uncomfortable things. Imagine waking up every single day, just stoked to start the day. You're moving towards your mission. You're moving towards your purpose. You're nowhere close to the goal, the thing that you would call success, but you have another chance to keep moving in the direction that you've been working towards. The momentum's there, and you're just enjoying the work, the mission, the purpose, the journey. This is something that I understand, but I've definitely had some challenges in just embracing the fact that the pursuit is truly the best part of it all. I'm not where I plan on being yet, but I've made a stupid amount of progress so far, and that's what I hope to inspire you to truly understand. Once you find your mission, once you find your purpose, once you're moving in that direction, the pursuit it's such a gift. The work, putting in the work, feeling good at the end of the day, knowing that it's my goals, the finish line for this thing is probably years out ahead of me, but I wake up in the morning and I get to move towards that every day. Just imagine just moving towards your purpose every single day. And it's a real challenge. It's a challenge to find what your purpose is, what your mission is, then how are you going to get there? And it's the slowest, hardest part, getting started. Like with anything, like with getting into the gym. The hardest part is getting started. You don't understand what to do. You don't have your habits. You don't have your structure set up, but you just have to start moving. We're so obsessed as a society as a whole of having the thing, having the following and the finances. That's my goal there, because those are going to allow me to further dedicate my time and my energy to interacting with you, to creating for you, to helping people find these amazing things that I've found that make you feel and allow you to be totally empowered to do whatever you want with yourself and your life. And I guess we'll see. This is work in progress, right? Maybe I'm full of it. Maybe I can't make it all happen, but I'm pretty confident that I will. And having all of this great stuff where we're talking along the way, it's going to be something amazing to look back on. I've obviously made some amazing progress with my physique. Started out as a skinny, fat, pear-shaped drunk loser. Almost 4 years ago, I stepped into the gym, said I'm changing everything. Doing pretty good so far. This part of the mission will never end. I'm always just going to keep putting in the work. I've hit the place I can let off the gas. This is just my life. I'm just going to continue living this way with fitness and nutrition every single day. I get up, do these hour-long walks every morning. Why is it an hour-long walk? Well, it used to take over an hour to go to the gym, get on the elliptical, wreck myself on the gym, get home, burn a bunch of gas, burn less calories. Now, I get to listen to music, I get to listen to podcast content, I get to talk with you, and I burn more calories, and I enjoy it. Even if, right now I'm in an industrial area, I'm walking around trailer parks. Sometimes I'm walking around beautiful, amazing places. Other times I'm in kind of rough spots. It doesn't really matter. So let's get back on the point here. We're all so obsessed with getting to the end goal and doing it as quickly as possible, when one of the biggest things that I think we're missing out on, and one of the things that I'm still struggling with truly embracing, is that the pursuit is such an amazing part of the journey. And without the pursuit, once the end goal is achieved, once I've hit my first $1 million, once I've hit my first 1 million followers, once I have my off-grid land and my well, and I have zero debt, and I'm completely self-sufficient, and I can bring in all of my own income no matter how weird or bad the economy in the world is, once I've really hit that point, that's a point of relief. That's a sigh of relief. But this mission, this journey, this pursuit, the pursuit is something that is, this is probably going to be a decade of work. I'm nearly 4 years into this. This is probably going to be a decade of work. I've got 40 followers on this channel now, 8,000 followers on my other channel that help me learn what I need to know to start over and do this properly. And, you know, it might take me more than twice the amount of time I've got into this now, but it's all going to work out. There's a few things on my mission that I've learned, and I think that you could find a small handful of these values for yourself. And I know that if I keep doing these things, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take, it's all going to work out. That is, never drink. Never ever drink again. That was one of my biggest problems. We'll talk more about that. Alcohol is terrible for me. I can't have it in my life. Never drink. Always work out. Always eat right. Always keep creating. Maybe I'll have thousands of videos before the first one gets traction, and I can do everything else that I've got experience with and structure for and plans for, that if I were to do all these things now, I'd be completely putting the cart before the horse, be taking time away from creating content in the way I need to build this channel. You know, nobody cares about me right now. Nobody wants to buy my apparel or my supplements right now. But when the time comes, I already have the structures, the outlets, the places to have this stuff made. I've built all this for other companies. It's exciting just to know that it's there. And those are only, again, very small parts of the big picture. But the main thing is, I want you to find these things that I've found, whether it be strength through restraint. It's one of the things that's given me the most self-belief and most confidence through, you know, initially quitting alcohol, then getting better and better nutrition, and then doing a grueling 97-day diet that was actually very unhealthy at the end. You know, my body went catabolic. My white blood cell count was below 3,000. I forget the word for it, but there's some sort of condition for that because my body was eating itself because I pushed it so hard. But what I did was I told myself, dude, I'm tough, I'm strong. I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to freaking do it. And it's an amazing feeling to have. So the pursuit is one of the greatest rewards. The work is the reward. It's really important that I consciously embrace that and that I help you understand that as well. Because it took me so long to figure out why I've been put on this planet, and then what am I going to do to actually have a positive impact, to help others, to make the world a better place, and to create my own full freedom, my financial sovereignty, my ability to not have to sell my life to somebody else, one paycheck or invoice at a time, while I'm then taking away from my mission and my purpose, which is to be out, to be creating, to be communicating. You know, there's a lot of travel and adventures within this life. There's a lot of amazing content coming from travels and adventures that have happened within the last year or two. You know, me getting sober on the road. I took 11 and a half months living on the beach in the mountaintops out in California out of an SUV. I started a successful marketing company while doing so. I've got a big battery and a T-Mobile Wi-Fi tower in my vehicle, and I was really uncomfortable. And it built me up in a way that it can't even really be put into words. And on the other side of it, I'm a much better person. I'm a much more confident person. I'm in a lot better shape. I'm a lot more sober. And grateful for every morning, no matter what challenges are coming. You know, that's, as we're working hard in the pursuit, as you do things really challenging, like that diet, like getting started in the gym, which is not a challenge anymore. It's just a normal habit, like brushing my teeth now, just part of life. The more of these hard, uncomfortable things you do, the easier it is to do hard and uncomfortable things. Thought I heard a bicycle coming behind me. It's a weed eater up here. But I've seen some Huberman Lab talks about this. I've heard this from other people, that you're basically building something up in your brain. You're adding new folds to your brain tissue. You're doing something to where the more hard, uncomfortable things you do, the more it builds that up, the more capabilities it gives for you to continue to do that. And that's what builds successful people up. That's where success comes from. I'm going to look forward into a challenge. I'm going to find my way through it. I'm going to work my way through it. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to be uncomfortable, and I'm going to get to the other side of it. And, you know, I'm actually come back right after I get past this lawnmower guy, and the sun's in the eyes. But anyways, adding more and more of these hard, uncomfortable things, getting through them, college, education, these things taught me that someone else is going to solve all the problems, and I just follow directions. And it's a terrible place to be mentally. This is one of the ways that they keep us trapped, keep us reliant, keep us compliant. Here, follow directions. We'll figure out all the problems. We'll deal with the taxes. We'll deal with the marketing, the profit and loss, the inventory. You just sit here, put the same rivet in the same hole, fill out the same TPS report. Just throw out all your skills and creativity, follow directions, be a robot, and it's summer of 2025. That path is working less and less for everybody. So, recognizing that the things that I understood as a millennial, that's not what's going to work anymore. And so now it's like, well, am I going to sit around? Am I going to be scared? Am I going to be mad about it? No, I'm going to be excited because look at all the opportunity. I can literally talk into an app now and have it create another app. I'm not good at graphic design. I'm very creative. I'm terrible at design. Well, now I can use AI, and all of a sudden I'm making amazing designs. I'm creating t-shirts for the world's largest custom motorcycle manufacturer. I had no idea I was going to be designing clothing. That was uncomfortable. And then I started figuring it out, and then I got better, and I screwed a few things up, and a few designs sucked, and a few didn't sell, and then I got a little bit better, and I learned a little bit more. And now I'm building 2 different drop shipping businesses. I didn't know anything about that, but what an amazing skill set to have. I'm going to have, the API we've built, I have 500,000 parts that I can put on Amazon at the click of a button. And I'm figuring out a whole lot of things that I knew nothing about. Online marketing, lead capture, this has all been a part of my background, but I got thrown into learning an entire new software suite, a complete new mindset, a bunch of technical stuff. And these things are all stuff that, the past way I knew things through college and such. You're just going to sit down, you're going to get some training, somebody's going to be there to help you and fix things if it doesn't work, and you're going to go to tutorials. And there's still tutorials I go through now, but I don't know about you, but I learn best by getting my hands on things, getting my hands dirty, screwing things up, figuring them out, fixing, learning, and continuing. And man, that's such a valuable perspective to have, to understand that those first 20 hours of doing something new, they're going to be the most challenging and least productive. But you're also going to learn the highest percentage of the entire process in that first 20 hours. You're going to go from 0% understanding to 40%, 50% in 20 hours, maybe more. And, in 100 hours, maybe you're at 80%. Now, from 80% to 100%, maybe that takes you several years to really, truly see the matrix. But you've empowered yourself. You've gotten through the discomfort. You've figured things out. You've fixed things. You've screwed things up and resolved them. And nobody else is there to hold your hand, to do it for you, to give you directions. And that's the way we have to approach the world now in 2025 and beyond, because everything's changing so quick, that just, I don't know about you, but the worst feelings in my life have been financial anxiety about jobs. Am I going to be able to create this income? I know I have so much to offer the world. Now I have to go out and hand people a piece of paper, apply online, have them reject me, tell me I'm not good enough. It's literally probably the worst experience of my life has been the job application process. Man, I bring way too much to the table for almost anything, but that's actually probably not good, because they don't need someone most of the time who can create solutions, who can add true value. What they need is to have a guy going through spreadsheets, to have a person putting the same part together. And because of my vision, I've created this business where all I do is solve problems, create solutions, and figure out how do I make money or how do I make things easier on the clients and, solve problems for them, because I haven't escaped the need yet to rely on someone else for my income. And these people I'll be loyal to for the rest of my life. Other than my parents, my clients, and the main person in that group has been my biggest ally in life. So I'll always be at these guys' sides, and all along the way I'm developing skills, I'm making good money, and I also get paid to travel around the country and ride these big awesome motorcycles and go do off-road motorsports and go out to shooting ranges, and nobody's there telling me what to do or when to do it. I do a lot of work on the road with my mobile office, mobile Wi-Fi setup. So now I'm just talking about myself, but again, I'm going to get back to the main point. And I want to have a lot of this right now. I'm bringing you guys on my journey. I've made a substantial amount of progress, but I'm nowhere close to where I'm headed, and there are steps for us to get where we're going. I want you to embrace the work and the journey and enjoy the pursuit. And I'm going to continue working on doing the same thing, because I do get anxious. I see, I'm so ready to be at the next stage. I feel like I've paid so much dues. I've worked so hard. I've learned so many lessons. But the thing is, if I just keep following those 4 items I told you about, never drink, always work out, always eat right, always keep creating, and I just keep doing that, and when it's supposed to happen, it's all going to happen. I just live by those habits, and I do not deviate. And so every day, I hope that you find your mission and your purpose sooner than later, or you're at least putting in the adequate effort it takes to start figuring that out. It took me a couple years just to figure out why I'm here. I'm closing in on my mid-40s. I'm divorced. I don't have kids. Well, what am I supposed to do? Am I just supposed to coast through life? Or is some object or some place going to actually matter? I've got a purpose here. I found something amazing about the way life can work for us if we choose to make it that way. And it's through going head on into discomfort, maintaining amazing habits, embracing discipline, embracing the pursuit. And it feels like it's just a million miles away when you're moving towards something, when you're moving towards getting yourself in legitimate, just excellent shape, when you're moving towards making your first $1 million, when you're moving towards building a business. It feels like it's so far away, but man, time passes fast. You look back, you blink your eyes, and it's like, dude, that happened overnight. Just imagine, that time's going to pass. Whether you put time, effort, energy into producing the outcome you want or not, that time's going to pass. And for me, I haven't had a TV in years. I don't watch TV. My time's too valuable. I'm always working or working out. If I'm awake, I'm working or working out. I wish I could get more sleep. I wake up with less than 6 hours of shut-eye, and I'm too excited about pursuing my purpose. I have to get up. I have to start moving. And I know that with enough time, energy, and effort, focus on that pursuit, you're going to get where you want to go. You're going to become the person you want to become. You're going to develop confidence. You will develop the physique. You will, because I wholeheartedly, 100% from the bottom of my heart believe the most important thing you can do, and the thing that is under your control the most, is get yourself in really good shape. Turn physical fitness into your highest priority other than survival, and if you got family, picking up the kids. But if you use the kids' schedule as an excuse to not get your fitness in, to not hit the gym, well, then you're missing the point. You're not far enough along. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's not supposed to be easy. You know, I get up at 5 a.m. now. I had a stretch for about a year. I was getting up at 4 a.m. and working out for 2 hours before I came in to my client's business here, which we're at now. You know, if you've seen any of these other videos, you know I've chosen more discomfort because I understand we're at a very unique point in time right now. The global financial system is shifting. I'm making good money. I could be living in a very nice place, a very comfortable life with a lot of amenities. But instead, I've been investing and planning and putting the currency, because it's not money, it's currency, putting the currency that I have, the excess, into investments. And now I have a great commute to work because I've chosen something that's far less luxurious than the life I could live with the money I'm making. But I know in 5 or 10 years, the things I'm doing today will have such a substantial impact on my freedom. And I know I'm going to build what it takes to create that freedom through content and through everything else I'm doing, regardless of the investments I made now. But like I said, financial anxiety, relying on others, these are two of the things that I really need to eliminate from my life, like I need to breathe or drink water. And by doing this, I'm able to give myself the mental, to relieve that anxiety. I know I'm doing something now that no matter how good or bad everything else goes, I'm laying a foundation and building my freedom today that I can capitalize on 5, 10, 20 years. But I know that what I've done just in the last 6 months of my life has, in the worst case scenario, if things don't go anywhere near as good as I know they will, I'm going to have a financial foundation. And if things do go well, then it's just another hard, uncomfortable thing. It's not that hard or uncomfortable either. This is the Taj Mahal compared to spending a year living out of that thing while building this business. It makes me feel good knowing that I'm moving in the right direction and doing these hard, uncomfortable things that will generate an amazing outcome versus seeking out instant gratification, filling my face with unhealthy food, drinking alcohol, wasting money on Amazon. Wasted money is wasted time. I'm out working for that money, and then I'm blowing it on things that don't matter, and then I've taken away that time I could have put to my mission and my purpose. It's called opportunity cost. So, thanks for sharing this journey with me. This is going to be a great video. These are all going to be great videos to look back on in 10 years. Nobody's watching them right now. I got 40 followers. These get 3 views. But I'm going to keep creating, and it's all going to work out. Find your mission. Find your purpose. Enjoy the pursuit. Because if you are on the pursuit of something greater and you have that mission and purpose, then you're ahead of 99% of the other people out there.